In this video, I want to talk about the current situation with the missing visit site button. I know that a lot of accounts are affected, so I want to talk about it. I want to tell you what you can do and what is happening. So hopefully this video will help you. So if your outbound clicks dropped or if you suddenly stopped getting traffic, there is a chance that your visit site button is missing. And I know that it's very frustrating because you spend time creating content, writing articles, creating pins, and then one missing button can basically kill your traffic. For those who don't know what is happening, basically if this tiny button in the left bottom corner is missing, users on Pinterest have to click on these three dots to actually go to your site. So obviously no one's going to do it. So if that button is missing, it's going to massively impact your traffic. But if it happened to you, don't worry and definitely do not panic. But of course, before I start, I want to invite you to my private community called Pin Lions. As of today, we have more than 160 members and everyone is doing the same thing. Everyone is growing on Pinterest and it's a very supportive community of Pinterest marketers. You can get access to a lot of cool resources, a lot of prompts, templates, workflows, and most importantly, a lot of custom tools that I created for myself and for members of the community. So these tools can definitely help you grow faster and create content faster. If it sounds interesting, you can check out the link in the description. Now let's go back to the video. First of all, what actually happened? What we know is that a very large number of accounts suddenly lost their visit site button on multiple pins, and that means that fewer people can click through to your blog, which naturally leads to click drops and traffic drops. And for some users, only a few pins are affected. It didn't really affect my accounts so far, and one of my accounts actually grew quite fast in the recent couple of days. I'm going to show you the stats in a minute. But for others, the button disappeared almost everywhere. So this is very annoying and it can mess up your analytics. So that's a very interesting case study because it's one of my AI food blogs. And on the 10th of October, it had 1.27k outbound clicks. But 9 days later, on the 19th, it was 2.54k outbound clicks. So this is very interesting because somewhere around here, people started losing the visit site button and that account on my end wasn't affected, and maybe that's the reason why the traffic grew. Who knows? So this is something that I don't understand because the traffic grew quite fast and I didn't change anything about my strategy. So I guess just the algorithm change somehow boosted this Pinterest account and now I'm getting this kind of traffic. So it just proves that while some accounts are losing traffic, other accounts are actually winning. And honestly, no one really knows why it happens because it seems totally random. And this part is actually very important because it seems completely random. It doesn't matter if you use AI or not. It doesn't matter if your site is big or small. It doesn't matter what niche you are in, because based on what I've seen in my community, there is no clear pattern, which tells me that this is not a penalty, it's not a shadow ban, and it's not Pinterest targeting low quality sites. It looks much more like a platform glitch or unintended side effect of some backend change. So around 1 week ago, Pinterest published this article in their newsroom, and they mentioned that they are rolling out new tools to give users more control over generative AI content. So the platform is changing, and that's why the algorithm is changing as well. And I believe that the missing buttons are directly connected with all of these new features because they are changing their entire system. And it doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong, because it's not exactly about the buttons here. It's about Gen AI interests. But if they are changing the system, then obviously everything is changing. And in the article, they also say that when it comes to these labels will become more noticeable over the coming weeks. As we ramp up our detection tools, we will keep iterating, introducing more generative AI features as we continue to improve the experience for our users. But even if you get the AI label, it doesn't mean that it's going to remove the link from your pin. So I feel like it's just an error or a bug on Pinterest's end. And I believe that this is temporary because it happened to me before. Actually, a few months ago, it affected my own account 3 times the same account. And back then the fix was very simple. I just reached out to Pinterest support through the help center. I told them that the button was missing and they brought the button back. And in each case, Pinterest admitted it, that it was caused by their system. It was not something I did wrong. So this is not a permanent situation. It has been fixed before, and I believe that it can be fixed again. And when you think about it, since Pinterest has been rolling out new features, they were testing new things, and recently there was a massive AWS outage that broke parts of the entire internet, including Pinterest. Well, I believe that when platforms run on AWS and AWS has problems, everything gets glitchy. Analytics, features, publishing, buttons, all of it. And Pinterest has been a bit of a mess lately. And I think that the AWS outage didn't help with the entire situation at all. So basically it was very messy before, and then the AWS outage happened and it was even more messy. People started reaching out to customer support like crazy. That's why even now, if you reach out to customer support, probably you won't get the answer that quickly. And I believe that you have to keep a calm and professional approach to all of that. Do not panic, do not change your strategy, and do not stop pinning. So instead, I'll just keep pinning normally, I'll just stay consistent, and I would contact customer support as well. Because if you contact support, you increase the chances of getting the button back. And actually, if you are subscribed to the newsletter of Tony Hill, who is the founder of PinClicks, yesterday he actually sent something very interesting, because he said that you should include specific links to pins that have missing buttons. So it may be a good idea to actually build a list of pins of your own that are missing these visit site buttons. So a few months ago, I got the buttons back when I just reached out to support and I said that the buttons were missing. But now Tony Hill recommends sending specific pin links, so I think it's a very good idea as well. And I believe that you shouldn't do any drastic changes. Do not delete all of the pins. Do not change your structure or your routine or your entire strategy. Just don't freak out. Try to stay calm, because Pinterest doesn't like sudden desperate behavior, because if suddenly you delete 500 pins, it may actually flag something worse on your account. So I feel like you want to look stable, consistent, and normal. Just take it on the chin. If it happened to you, reach out to customer support and give it a few days, because I believe that so many people are reaching out to customer support right now that it's very unlikely that they will respond to you that quickly. And you have to remember that Pinterest is a search engine just like Google, and sometimes updates break things. And it doesn't mean that the platform is dead. It just means that we have to adjust, we have to stay patient, and we just have to wait. Just being calm in that kind of situation is the best thing that you can do, because buttons disappeared before and they came back, and traffic dropped before and it came back. So this is just another fluctuation. It's not the end of the world. The main takeaway I want you to get from this video is that this situation is annoying, and I understand it, and it can cause temporary drops of traffic, but no, it's not your fault. You are not doing anything wrong, most likely. And just stay calm, stay consistent, do not change your strategy, and just let Pinterest stabilize. And like I said before, reaching out to customer support and giving them links to pins that have missing buttons may actually help as well. And of course, if you want updates, more strategies, and more support from other Pinterest marketers and me, join the Pinlines community. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching this quick video. Hopefully it was helpful, and if it was, consider subscribing to this channel. See you next time.